Well, friends, there are certain things which happen in life because of various situations which you come across. I did my MS Ophthalmology from PGI Chandigarh in 1981. During my residency, I realized that very little is done for retina, and the diseases of retina were very prevalent in the region. And at that time, we were lucky to have Dr. D.N. Gangwar, who would do scleral buckling for retinal detachment surgeries. At that time, few things happened in life, and one of the biggest event which totally changed my sort of a decision that I have to do retina was one elderly gentleman who was totally blind, and he was told by our teachers that nothing could be done. He had a bilateral proliferative diabetic retinopathy, very advanced, and at that time there was hardly any place in India where surgery could be done for this. This was in 1980, and I think he just talked to me and Dr. Amod Gupta at that time. He was a young faculty, and we told him that we have heard that something can be done if you can go abroad. He said, my son is in USA. He went there. He got his surgery done and came back after 6 months. The person who was being brought by two people holding on either side came independently. He was a different man, and he was very, very upset with our faculty members and became fan of ours. I think that was it. I thought I have to do retina, and we have to bring this kind of technology here. We must do in our country. And subsequently, I got opportunity to go to Shimla, my medical college, that's Indira Gandhi Medical College, as assistant professor, where I stayed for 3 years from 86 to 89. You will be surprised, nobody did that time indirect ophthalmoscopy ever in that state. I was the first one to do scleral buckling for retinal detachment that time, which I did, and also did first fluorescein angiography. But I didn't know where to get trained. Well, I started doing screening, cryo, in the beginning for retinopathy of prematurity, which was done under general anesthesia. It was a challenge for whole PGI. Whole of the anesthesia department, including their head of the department, used to be there when I started this procedure, but it was very satisfying when I could prevent blindness in many of them. And later on, I started doing laser as well as subsequently ROP surgery, which was not done anywhere in the northern part of the country. And we trained manpower for the entire country for screening as well as treatment of retinopathy of prematurity, and that helped many people across, and especially children, from going to blindness. And one of the most famous which I trained and remained for 6 years with me was Dr. Anand Vinekar, who is in Narendera, Bangalore now, and is world known ROP expert, who has made country proud, and he has made me proud being my student. And we also established a very good Vitreo-retinal unit and started Vitreo-retinal surgery. We would assist each other, me and Professor Amod Gupta, for first 6 months. We would do surgery even in the evening and night, because that time we never had advanced eye center. We had just one operation theater for the entire ophthalmology department. That's how we started. Subsequently, the retina started becoming very popular, and not only that, we got basic research done on retinopathy of maturity, also in retinal diseases, especially tuberculosis, and we could get international, not only national but international recognition. Also, we did a lot of work on diabetic retinopathy, which is now absolutely published and known all over the world. And not only that, what we did, we started at that time thinking that how can we expand further, and how can we be more recognized. I think one of the major contribution in the end for me was starting MCH, that is 3 years degree course in Vitreo-retinal in PGI. This is for the first time in the country. So now we are training, not only training people, we are giving them a degree which is first time from PGI Chandigarh. While I was in Shimla as Assistant Professor of Ophthalmology in Medical College, there was a God-sent opportunity which I couldn't believe to do Vitreo-retinal Fellowship in USA. There were a lot of people competing for the same fellowship and only one fellowship was available for the country. Can you imagine that I was the one who was selected? This is 2 years Vitreo-retinal Fellowship which I did in Baltimore, Maryland, in a very famous hospital, and that changed the whole thing for me as well as for retina. During those 2 years I learned everything possible which was not even thought of in this country, and at that time there was a lot of pressure from my friends, people, that nobody comes back from USA after spending 2 years. But it was my resolve to come back to PGI Chandigarh and develop retina service here in our own region. And at that stage what I did, I wanted that we should develop retina service. I was very lucky to have Professor Amod Gupta as head of the department that time, and together we made a plan how we can achieve this. He is one of the best leader you can get, and you can achieve so many things once you have a right person with you. At that time one event happened which also changed the whole destiny of my life. One elderly doctor couple, they had already lost 3 children. They had this premature boy who survived, was totally blind because of retinopathy of prematurity. The whole PGI, they were upset because of the blindness, because nothing was available that time. And at that time they told me, can something be done? So I said, nothing can be done for this child, but lot can be done to prevent such an eventuality. That is where my journey with retinopathy of prematurity in retina started, which in fact is now a history. We faced several challenges during setting up the retina service in PGI Chandigarh. One of that time, any patient who had a retina problem was referred all the way to Shankar Netralaya, Chennai, and very few could go there. And in the beginning, when we started procurement of equipment, even the first microscope took 5 years for us to get. That is the operating microscope, and what to talk of VR surgery. We had great difficulty in procuring entire Vitreo-retinal equipment as well as the laser for retinopathy of prematurity. We had to have sort of global tenders, and it took us many years to do that. But despite that, we could finally get it, and it was possible because of Professor Amod Gupta's positive attitude and the perseverance, where he himself was directly involved in every step. Subsequently, the challenge was we just had one operation theatre and a 1-floor department. I think that was led to another challenge, how to create a center in a public sector. And that's how, with great difficulty, convincing first the local authorities, then nationally, and through planning commission, we could get today's Advanced Eye Center, which is a model for anybody to see, and especially only place in public sector which everybody feels that they may also have. Not only that, I would relate few things, the challenges, even doing a first cryopexy. I would require the anesthesia head of the department or the senior people. They would take almost half a day for one cryopexy under GA, and would usually be telling me, Dogra, what have you started? This is not something which you should have done. I said, sir, if we don't do, then who else will do? But we won. Even when I started doing laser treatment of children for retinopathy of prematurity, I was the one who would carry the equipment of laser myself to the NICU area and bring it back myself, just carrying physically. And that's how we kind of kept on developing, doing things so we face several challenges. So if you want to have challenges in life, you want that you should have a life where every time you have challenges, then you can go to retina, but you have to be like very well focused, be prepared for sacrifices. At the same time, I would say you should be all right with a modest income. It's not going to be like cataract and refractive surgery, which I already said they are glamorous, but it is mechanical. It is more of a money there rather than excitement. So in life, if you follow your passion, if you are ready to sacrifice and work hard, then join retina. It is the most exciting field because every case, it is the window, retina is the window to the entire body. That's what excites me. If somebody tells me what would you like to do in your next life, I will say I'll do the same.